What's up, guys? It's Wolverine, Death Machine, Mr. GMSI himself, Brian Cage, and you're watching True Hill Heat. Who better? Nobody.
Alright, this is Dan House here, very nice, your evil. You are watching True Heel Heat. Probably should have had MJF do this, but here we are.
Welcome to True Heel Heat, the place where we use insider terms because we think we know what the fuck we're talking about, even though we don't. My name's Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and I'm better than you, and you know it.
Yo, what up? You know what it is. It's your boy AJ Francis reporting to you live from New York City, the birthplace of hip-hop. And I'm telling you that I'm only tuned in with True Heel Heat Wrestling. Holla at me.
I'm serious. I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.
Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. We are live on the True Hill Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for AEWramble episode 144. Kenny, I'm sorry. Reviewing the May 1st, 2024 edition of AEW Dynamite as only we can. To do that, I am joined by the man of 54,000 subscribers. You go to him for your TV and movie reviews, as well as your honest criticisms of Tony Khan and All Elite Wrestling. He is Jimmy Macram.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you?
Splendid, splendid. You seem better than last week.
I'm probably just worn out from last week, but I'm here. It's been a very chill day. It's gonna be very chill today.
You just woke up?
Oh, half an hour ago.
No, that's fine. That's fine. So
Yeah, I
now
went to
just
sleep
right out the bed.
4 hours ago, but still, I'm here.
Very, very well done. But yes, we are here to discuss AEW Dynamite as always, Thursdays, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time. We appreciate y'all if you're joining us live. Appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Remember to show that appreciation back the simplest way possible. Drop the thumbs up on this video. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you, hear your thoughts on last night's AEW Dynamite. But of course, if you want to make sure you're highlighted as commented on screen and you want to show your support to what we do here, to myself and Jimmy Macram, you can send a super chat donation. That is so important to what we do here. It gives back to all the contributors and it helps us out so much. So we appreciate those always. We got G Loke in the chat who says, what it do at True Hill Heat, Maine? So much to talk about. So please smash up the like and sit down for this next banger. We also got Safet who says, sup. We got ALW who says, I was underwhelmed by this episode of Dynamite. We got good morning, everyone, from Roxy. Nice to see you, Roxy, this morning. We also got our good friend Chuck Berries in the chat who says, what's good, fellas? Somebody tell Winnipeg to keep Buddy's wife name out of their fucking mouth.
Well, they know what's coming. I've been telling you I was coming for 6 months now. It's over. Good luck,
He's going to get left?
Yeah. Sorry.
You've been saying it longer than 6 months.
That's true. She has been Steve Austin for a while. He's hanging in there, though. Good job, sir. Keep holding on against hope.
Deborah McMichael's out here.
But
yes, we got a lot to discuss from last night's AEW Dynamite. It was 3 hours with Rampage afterwards. We'll run through Rampage when we're done with Dynamite here because I know Jimmy Macram did not watch. But
watch the
Jimmy,
first 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever.
Because it was the rest of the Dynamite angle. That's why. You didn't even stick around for Jay White.
Fighting? Who's fighting? Dante. No,
Martin?
I did not. No, I fucking did not. No. Wait.
Why no love for Dante and Jay White? Come on, man.
We've seen these half Negroes already.
Do you think that folks like yourself would be somewhat interested in if they just said it was a 3-hour Dynamite instead of Dynamite and then Rampage? Because I feel like there might be a certain section of the audience that immediately gets turned off by Rampage and turns it off.
Yeah, pardon me. Yeah, but that trick only works once. So like if you do it and then at the last hour, I'm just watching like, holy shit, this is fucking Rampage. I would be highly upset.
Yeah, you have to pace it out where the end angle is in that third hour. Where if they did it like last night, then the Omega angle would have to be starting at like 10:45.
Yes, it's like you trying to sell me on a fucking world shifting draft. I'm sitting here watching maintenance for 2 hours.
Oh my god,
it's infuriating.
That's how you did you watch the draft?
I watched this. I tell you can only work once. I watched SmackDown. I went, okay.
You picked the wrong one. The right one was Raw. Raw was better, but overall, it was just like, this might be like a Vince concept that Triple H does not know how to work.
It doesn't work. Get rid of this shit. This stinks. Get rid of this. This is an email. Why am I getting a 2-hour phone call? Just send me the fucking email. Let me know a couple people switched.
It's a 5-hour phone call.
5 hours. Jesus. Ironically, I saw some of Raw. I felt the same way about Raw. I felt about this show, except it was inverted. Like this show, I was really excited for Swerve. Then I was bored for an hour and a half, and then I was really excited for Omega. On Raw, I was bored for an hour and a half. Then they did Drew and Punk. Then I was bored for another hour.
That's 3 hours. So
yeah, hour and a half. Drew and Punk was like a half an hour.
No, it wasn't. It was.
Punk out. They Drew come out and the Punk thing.
If you count them picking the draft picks or the in between stuff.
Yeah, Punk, 25 or so minutes. Punk and Drew again.
So you liked the 25 minutes, or you were just waiting around for Drew?
I couldn't even tell you what the fuck happened in 25 minutes. I know Drew was looking for him. I know that much.
That's what I said yesterday with Rick Ucchino when we did the preview for Backlash. I was like, the Jey Uso Damian Priest World Title program feels so mid card because Raw's number one face is actually CM Punk. It's not Jey Uso, and its number one heel is not Damian Priest. It's actually Drew McIntyre.
With relative ease, I was like, this Priest and Jay thing is a great title feud, just not a world title feud. Sorry to break the news to you. They'll fight over Intercontinental title. It's be awesome, but they're not. Sorry.
And I had someone agree with me in the chat. I don't know about you, but it feels to me like Jey Uso lost some confidence at WrestleMania.
Think so?
It just feels like his promo work is very reliant on the yeets even more than usual. Like it's kind of like his cushion. Like it's like how he structures his promos. It's like a call and response instead of how Austin used to just change his delivery for people to put in the what's. He's like, please say it. Like it's weird. It's weird. And then in the ring, it's like watching Uso tag matches, but on like slower down, like negative 1.5 speed.
Or maybe he was never the guy to begin with. Maybe you guys got sucked in by he has great facial expressions. He's a great character. He was at least. And he was next to Roman and Sammy. And it's fucking fantastic. Now, sorry. I don't know why I'm saying sorry. You guys never push back on my WWE takes. Ever. Never like, hey, Jimmy, hold on a second. You fucking hater. Never. Not once.
It's always your AEW one. We got a Big Red Dog says I turned off Rampage real quick. I mean, you gotta book better stuff. Like Rampage on Saturday with the 3-hour block that had something immediate. Like they did the parking lot fight with Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta, something they actually build up to in the first matchup. So it was like a nice little transition into Collision, and then you watch that. Even if you turn it off after that. Immediately after that, they had Thunder Rosa versus Deonna Purrazzo. So it kept me with Rampage on Saturday, but they didn't book it that way here.
Very true. I didn't realize while I was watching. I mean, I know I was bored, but I didn't realize till the end. A lot of stars didn't make the trip for Dynamite.
No Ospreay, no Mercedes, no the regular people that have been out for a while. So when you add those two also not being there, it doesn't look like a lot of the stars were available for them. That's why I think that's why we got Joe return here.
What a waste that was. Waste of my fucking. By the way, we haven't heard what the world champion thinks about losing his belt. By the way,
and he's one of the best promos. We got in the chat here. Big Man Doe says I never bought into main event Jey Uso as an actual main eventer. I said it yesterday. I was like, Rick Eugeno was like, Jey is over, but there's a problem. And I just looked at him like, is he over or is Ye over? Is Ye over and is his entrance over? And then the bell rings.
That's fair. I don't know the answer to that, but
I was surprised I didn't get any pushback on that either from the chat or from Rick. I was like, oh, okay. I thought it was just me. I thought it was just my observation.
I mean, at the moment, he's a main eventer by circumstance. No offense, the Punk is hurt, and now Drew's hurt. Oh, fucking outrageous. Cody left. There's no Rollins. There's no Rhea. And Jay, you're up. We already did all this. Why are we having a Judgment Day main event run? We already did all this, and it didn't work. Let's move on, please.
We got Annika says Willow Blue deserved to be on Dynamite. Willow and Blue was better than any match on Dynamite. Why didn't you put that as the first matchup on Rampage? It was a really, really good main event for Rampage. So if anybody stuck around and watched it, they would be very, very pleasantly surprised. But I'm sorry. That was the only match you really build up to on Dynamite for Rampage. Yes, it makes sense to put it in the main event, but you had to have people stick around afterwards. And you didn't even promote Jay White on Rampage until maybe a minor note on commentary?
Fucking Jay White still couldn't get on fucking Dynamite. No Moxley, no Dragon, no Ospreay, no Mercedes. Jay White can't make the Dynamite.
We need you for
Fuck he
Dynamite.
do?
We need you for Rampage.
Ugh.
We got Frantic Road that says Dynamite was good last night, and I enjoy Rampage. That TBS women's hardcore match was so good. We got Hassan who says Sky Blue and versus Willow was the match of the night for me. Shibata versus Jericho after. I mean, we'll talk about it. We're going to talk about it. But once again, I begrudgingly like a Jericho segment. I'm sorry. Seeing this man get chopped to death. I'm sorry. He knows that is the way to make his matches entertaining. To have him get chopped to death.
Scooby-Doo ass match. This stinks. I'm sorry.
We kick off Dynamite with a cold open. We come on air. We're live from Winnipeg, but we go to via satellite to Jacksonville, where Tony Khan introduces us to the show. He apologizes for not being there live in Winnipeg due to not being cleared by doctors. His feed is getting cut into when eventually it's cut off completely by none other than the EVPs of All Elite Wrestling, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. They're in the production truck and apologize for losing connection to Jacksonville. They said that they weren't fired last week due to their ironclad contracts, as they aren't going anywhere, and neither are their colleagues. Included in their ironclad contracts of avoiding to be fired, they also have in their contract that if Tony Khan is unreachable or not there at a show, the EVPs are able to run the show. So they throw it to the new Dynamite intro, which is dominated by the Young Bucks, Kazuchika Okada, and Jack Perry clips. I thought this was a nice way to follow up from last week's angle very quickly before we got into our real opening segment.
It's 2022, and I'm now 3 years into
It's
begging
2000. It's 2024.
Bear with me. And I'm 3 years into begging AEW to do show long angles. Okay. Now you tell me that 2 years later, Jimmy, you'll get exactly what you want. The Elite are going to have show long angles. I go, oh, well, not my favorite, but I guess I can watch Kenny Omega for 2 hours. No, not Kenny Omega. He's not there. All right, fuck it, fine. Hangman's not the greatest promo in the goddamn world, but I can watch Hangman for 2 hours. No, not Hangman either, sir. It's going to be Matt fucking Jackson. I'll cry. Never mind. Forget everything I just said. There's no need for show long anything. Fuck it. Let's do the variety hour. This stinks. This doesn't stink, but Matt Jackson's terrible. I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody says. You can argue with somebody else about this.
He's not
in the vacuum, though. It's fine.
I love him. I love him, and I love the show long angle with the Elite continuing their takeover. I thought this was a nice little way to follow up from last week. We got Then It's Gone saying Tony Storm that just threatened to peg Serena Deeb. Wow. Gotta watch that.
That's not a visual I needed today. Yeah.
I'm gonna watch that promo, that's for sure.
How hurt was Cody by what Tony Storm said? That shit's hilarious. You see his interview?
What happened?
They brought up AEW's taking shots at Cody in an interview he had. He was very political. He was like, I can't root against AEW. I just can't. The shots are, it's wrestling. Things happen. Oh, fucking phony. Stink. I hate his fucking guts. I'm sorry. Love you, Cody, sort of, but boy.
Why do you hate his guts? Jesus.
Stop being I hate politicians in general. Especially when they don't have to be. Why are you being a politician, sir?
So you're saying like X-Men fans are saying Magneto was right. You're saying Roman was right. I didn't see it. You're saying Roman was right. He called him a politician.
See that? See how fast he turned on Cody? Look at Randy World. Cody was butthurt by what Tony Storm said. How fast he turned on him. Ain't that a bitch?
Jesus. We kick off the show proper in the building in Winnipeg with the AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland coming down to the ring with Prince Nana dancing by his side. He gets on the mic and he tells the crowd he's wrestled on 3 straight shows in 1 week, which shows he's a champion that the fans deserve. What What AEW doesn't deserve is selfish, greedy, childish, power-hungry EVPs who think they can throw their weight around without any consequences. He calls what the Elite did last week to Tony Khan a bitch move, which will be handled eventually. But he says for tonight is about learning who his opponent will be for AEW Double or Nothing. He says whoever it is, though, they better wipe your feet before entering whose house? Swerve's house. On the Contron is none other than Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the Young Bucks. They said that success has gotten to Strickland's head and bad-mouthing the EVPs, even using curse words, which is going to be a fine. The network didn't like that. The Bucks said, as for his opponent at Double or Nothing, they have chosen someone who is one of Canada's finest wrestlers ever, a former world champion, and he says that he's at the gorilla position right now, so hit his music. And of course, it is none other than former TNT champion, Father of the Year, Christian Cage. Everyone expected Kenny Omega, but it was Christian Cage and the patriarchy. Excalibur said his mind went to one place, but we were all swerved in a sense. Tony Schiavone said, if anyone deserves a world title shot, it's Christian Cage. Wow, what a turnaround for Tony Schiavone. Cage gets on the mic, and he gets the mic. He looks like he's about to say something when he just jabs Strickland right in the face with the mic. Swerve tries to fight back, but the numbers were too much as Nick Wayne and Killswitch attacked both Strickland and Nana. Killswitch laying out Strickland with the headbutt, as well as Nana with one as well. Christian then picks up Swerve and delivers the Killswitch right on the AEW World Championship. They pick up Nana, who receives the Wayne's World Cutter, and then sells it like he's having a seizure, and then sells it at various times. Nana was hilarious with his selling here. Cage took the mic finally, and then he has something to say. He says there's something Strickland should know. He never forgets. Cage brought up how Strickland broke into his son's, Nick Wayne's gym last year and busted him open. He also hasn't forgotten about teaming with Swerve Strickland at AEW All In London, and they lost, with Swerve being the one who lost it for him. So he's end result of him embarrassing Christian. Instead of apologizing, Strickland went and won the AEW World Championship. So now it's time to pay for those mistakes. Strickland brought up Christian brought up how Swerve brought up his daughter on Collision and said when he's done with him, she's not going to want to know Strickland, but can have a father who she can truly be proud of. Christian said that the pain has just begun as then Killswitch then rips the dreadlock out of Swerve's head. I thought there was like a piece of blood on it. Oh my God, that looked brutal. And then he presents it to Nick Wayne, Christian, and then he holds up the AEW World Championship, giving us a possible visual of what will go down on May 26th. But it's official. Christian Cage will challenge Swerve Strickland for the AEW World Championship coming up at AEW Double or Nothing in Las Vegas, Sunday, May 26th. What did you think about the opening segment here and the choice of Christian as Swerve's first pay-per-view challenger?
I love Christian, first of all. So a Christian Swerve feud is going to be fun. That's number one. Number two, segment was really good. Really good? No, segment was good. Swerve's fucking promo to open made me sick. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because anytime you win the belt, do you become fucking generic babyface one? Where you love the fans and you love the championship and you love AEW. All of them. Remember Moxley's first babyface promo, he gave me that horse shit. Oh, anyway, Swerve was good, but not great. Christian was great because he always is.
He is.
I would have sworn up and down it was going to be Hangman, the way we're doing the whole elite thing.
We said last week we thought it was either going to be Hangman or Jack Perry.
Yeah, Jack Perry missed his boat. So I'm kind of happy. Ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I am happy. It was too soon for Jack.
It's too soon. It's the only time it's ever going to happen. It means it's never going to happen. This is a win. This is totally a win. But yeah, this should be interesting. I probably could have done with the hair part. I mean, that'd be nice.
What? You could have done without the hair part? Why?
I could have done without the hair part. Well, I'll say this nicely. It's clearly not real hair he ripped out of his fucking head. And we know Swerve has a taboo relationship with women who don't wear the real hair. I thought it was ironic.
Or maybe he cut the dread before, and all he had to do was rip it up.
For 30-year-old Negroes, don't let people rip hair out of their fucking head. That's not how that works. He's trying to hold on to it as long as he possibly fucking can. Stop it.
This is true. That is a good point. Josh says, I love this and how Christian brought up reasons from the past as to why he has it out for Swerve, other than just wanting to be world champion. Yeah, I enjoyed that part of it. That you always get the people of, oh, there's a random matchup. There's no story to it. Christian gave you the story right off the bat of why he's targeting Swerve Strickland and wants the AEW World Championship, besides the obvious reason of he always wants gold.
My math is not good. My timeline isn't great because, hey, but isn't the tagging with Swerve after he beat up Nick Queen?
Yeah. But he wasn't his son then. He didn't accept him then. That was when he was still trying to convince him to come to the patriarchy. And Christian does seem like a smart ball because he had all this time that he could have got revenge, but he waits till he was AEW World Champion. I love that.
I don't mind if that's 6 years that he's just talking. He just wants the belt. All this other
yeah, of course. No, I think that's obvious that's his. He really just wants the belt, but he's just trying to come up with reasons why he's a great father at the same time.
That could work.
We also got here in the chat, Big Man Dog saying, at first I was confused why this smarky ass crowd was cheering Christian, but then I realized it's Canada. Yeah.
This crowd stunk. Or they were poorly mic'd. I'm not sure which.
It was like bipolar. It was like some matches, even like certain matches, they would be into it, then they would be quiet. Then we'd be into it, and then they'd be quiet. Like I mean, might be because some of these matches were a little too long, but yeah.
Egregiously so.
Yeah.
We'll get to it. Yeah.
We got ALW says, I thought this was okay. I don't like showing your AEW champ so vulnerable, but I like this feud, and I think the match will be a banger. If it's a babyface, it has to be presented as vulnerable. That's kind of like, that's wrestling 101. You have to present your babyface as vulnerable that there's a chance he's going to lose the title.
Yeah. You're probably just feeling this way because he was presenting like shit last week.
Yeah, that is true. But I mean, hey, he was in front of the biggest audience AEW's done this year. 3 million people on Saturday.
That shit was what?
Apparently that segment did 3 million, but then it dropped to 690.
No, 1.3, not 3. Jesus.
Oh, 1.3.
Jesus.
1.3.
3 million people.
Imagine.
Is The Rock here?
1.3, excuse me. But yeah, the biggest audience AEW's done this year for a quarter.
Yeah. It falls off a fucking cliff. I mean,
and he had a great match with Claudio as well on the show.
That'd be nice. And we're already off to 28 minutes. We're having a good go of it. We haven't disagreed yet. Great match with Claudio. All right, great match.
It was a great match.
Great match with Kyle Fletcher and great match with Claudio. Why?
It wasn't a great match with Kyle Fletcher. We established that last week.
That's not the Kyle Fletcher match is great. Because why? Because I don't buy the win, so who cares? All right.
We got Annika says this was a choice. I know better than to underestimate Christian, so we'll see. I think that the people that are down on Christian being the choice for the pay-per-view challenger, I think that they're just I don't know. I think they're just down on AEW in general. Most of the people that I've seen down on this are just down. No, I'm not saying that they're like bad mouthing them or shitting on them. I'm saying they're just down on the product right now. Some people don't think AEW is cool right now, and that is a cold product. And 9 times out of 10, the people that I saw complaining about Christian being the choice are people that are just down in AEW in general.
Even if Hitler says 2 + 2 is 4, it's still 4. Christian he's been gone for forever, and he lost his last match. Just for the secondary championship. I like Christian, so I don't care what his record is. But it's true. Sorry.
Not how I feel. I love Christian. I'm enjoying this.
Not how you feel. He didn't lose his last match. I'm not talking about feelings. It's true.
Well, no, I'm talking about feeling down on Christian. I'm happy with Christian as
nobody's down on Christian.
Whoever was going to be picked for this was going to lose anyway. At least it's going to be an entertaining build to it.
No, you got to maintain continuity, sir. You can't just throw your hands up and say fuck it. You can't do it. You got to stay vigilant. Now, over Jack Perry, I'll take it. I don't care if Jack Perry's 100 no.
Josh says generic babyface Swerve will get old, as that's not how he got over. He needs to go back to what got him over. I don't think long term Swerve's going to be babyface world champion. I think that long term, if he wants to hold on to this title, he has to turn heel because there's more baby faces in the main event scene than there are heels.
I don't see him being long term world champion because he's black. We don't do that here.
Wow. Do that.
You gotta be.
Words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
This is your problem. It's a problem with a lot of you. This nigga's been out of the nigger hole for so long, he thinks the nigger hole doesn't exist. It fucking exists. You'll be back in there shortly. Sorry, Charlie.
We got Myron Kidd who says, I don't think there's a wrestling promotion that knows how to book a babyface champion, especially their promos.
Okay, well, there's Cody. I don't like his promos to begin with. Who's before that? Seth Rollins. He's not a great promo. We got to find out who's a good promo and has been booked poorly. Moxie is always great promos. He's just great. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that take.
We also got here Delayed Gents who says AEW has no stories because they don't repeat the setup 5,000 times before the match happens. You got to repeat to us over and over again and replay it over and over on every show.
I'm starting to think. Never mind. I'll give you a chance. We'll see. But I'm pretty close to calling this. But to throw you to the frantic world side of things.
I also agree with this from Josh, who says, "Let's not time to rush the Hangman angle. Let it play out." I feel like Swerve does need some time with the title before Hangman comes back.
Agreed, but I'm tired of niggas telling me to let it play out. I don't want to see fucking Jey Uso and Damian Priest play out. I don't want to give it a chance. I don't want to do any of these fucking things. If it stinks now, it stinks now. I don't care if it doesn't stink later. It stinks now. Now Christian and Swerve is fine right now. I'm just saying. Until let it play out. No. I don't want to.
But let's talk about the opening matchup on AEW Dynamite last night. Was for the TNT Championship, the Cope Open. Adam Copeland was facing one member of the House of Black. He did not know going in who it would be. We heard from Malachi Black, who said, "Oh, you thought it was gonna be me, but no, it won't be me. Oh no, it won't be me. Why fighting him now when despairing his
House of Black talking shit?
When his mind is so much more rewarding." But then, it was Buddy Matthews who made his entrance as he was the one challenging Adam Copeland for the TNT Championship. Early on, they trade shoulder blocks, some headlock takedowns, quick pinning attempts, a quick stalemate. Matthews floated over a backdrop, hit a Hurricane Rana as both men cut off dive attempts until Copeland managed to connect on his first dive of the matchup as we went to commercial break. When things returned, Matthews caught Copeland coming back into the ring with a sick-looking draping DDT through the ropes back inside. He kept Copeland grounded for a bit until Copeland was able to hit a flapjack Both men climbed to the top rope. They were fighting to get a superplex, but both men hit big shots and they took a double bump on the apron, which I feel this was the point that really messed up Matthews' ribs. If it was hurt in this matchup, we don't know. The tease of a double count out with both men just beating the count. We got a slugfest back into the ring. Matthews blocked an impaler. Both got some speed and did a hard-looking double crossbody takedown. As we went to commercial break, we saw that Matthews was selling his rib cage following this big takedown. It affected him the rest of the matchup. Got some close near falls on a Liger bomb, but Copeland was able to hit an avalanche impaler, almost getting the win with that one. Matthews cut off a spear attempt with a big knee strike, then a jackhammer for a near fall. He got on a crossface, but Copeland was able to reverse into an angle slam. Justin Roberts gave us the 20-minute call at that point. Copeland missed a spear attempt, ate a go to sleep. Matthews went for a curb stomp, but Copeland caught him with a spear to pick up the victory. Post-match, after retaining the TNT title, Copeland grabbed some steel chairs. He put the one steel chair under Matthews, looked like he was going to swing the other, but he hesitated a bit when the lights went out as Copeland was contemplating. And when they came back on, Malachi Black was in the ring, and he told Copeland to do it. Swing the chair. He hit him with the chair. Matthews recovered enough to ask for the steel chair shot. Copeland looked like he was going to swing at Black, turning around towards him when the lights went out, and when they returned, both Black and Matthews had disappeared. What did you think about Buddy Matthews versus Adam Copeland? I thought it was a good match that went about 10 minutes too long.
There's no such thing as a good match that goes 10 minutes too long, sir. 10 minutes? It's a whole nother match. It's a whole nother long match. This shit stunk. I'm sorry. It was a good match, and then they went 10 minutes. How's that? I say this nicely. First of all, we got to talk about Buddy's. Was he bleeding from his mouth, or was he bleeding from his stomach? And then, more importantly than that, is this a work or is this a shoot?
Yeah, because it looked like a shoot.
Heinous.
Yes. It looked like a shoot.
Let him keep wrestling. Let him keep wrestling is heinous. That's a terrible fucking idea. Somebody with internal injuries keep wrestling. They take you to the hospital if you have internal injuries. What the fuck? I'm gonna assume it's work. I cannot believe they would say, "Oh, he's bleeding from his gut." We got 10 more minutes on us. That would be that's wild. Like if they had went to the finish afterwards, then I would be like, okay, that was a legit injury. They went to the finish right thereafter, and I would have said it was just a good match. But like it just went too long, especially after the injuries. It's like you get like 12 different near falls afterwards. It's like, dude, how is he still going? Yeah, and more importantly, it's Buddy Matthews. Nobody thinks he's gonna win this fucking match. I'm sorry, you keep trying to sell us. It's not gonna happen. Yeah,
and that's what someone told me. He said that he's intentionally trying to get injured so he could be home with mommy.
Oh, this is the time for you to be on the road. You know where she's at. She's not going nowhere. She's not doing nothing. Leave her at the house. Match was good. Nobody buys fucking Buddy Matthews winning. I gotta be honest. As much as I like Malachi Black and Brody King and Buddy Matthews, I'm over the House of Black as a unit. They do all this spooky shit, then they fucking lose. I'm over it. Spooky shit, fucking deception, miss, lights going out, all to fucking lose. Maybe you guys just think. Maybe consider this. You're not spooky, you're just weird.
For you to pay off on any of this, you have to have like Malachi finally win singles gold, and the payoff should be Malachi beating Copeland for the TNT championship. But I doubt that's it. I doubt that. I think Copeland's gonna win.
Yeah, probably. This is me. Only Tony Schiavone understood what was going on with the mist. Everybody else was like, "Hey, Edge is fucking he's losing it."
I liked Schiavone adding that though, because it was a cool little note because nobody really was talking about that after. Is that he got hit with the miss, and we all know what happens when you get hit with the miss. You start showing more aggressive, start acting more crazy. And you could tell with this, and then I actually liked more than this matchup the follow-up they did later, where you could tell Copeland it's mentally is fucking with him. He's like he gets asked a question by Renee, literally like Seconds later, he's like, yeah, I'm okay. Yeah.
He's really good.
Yeah, he's like so he sold it so well that his head is just completely somewhere else. And then Kyle O'Reilly comes in, and Kyle O'Reilly's like, "Hey, Cope, like if you need help with the House of Black, I got your back." And Copeland's like, "Oh man, yeah, I appreciate." Wait, eyes up here. I was like, yo, that was great. That was great. He said, yeah, you know, I got Brody King next week. You got Rocky Romero on Rampage. Wish you best of luck. And then walked away. Really I was like, yo, he sold that great.
He's really good. That was really good. That's his bag. I can do about all his fucking in the ring promos, but backstage shit, he's really good.
Yes. And I like to just being like, stop looking at my title, bitch. Like my tits. Stop looking at my tits, bitch. Like my eyes are up here.
That was good.
That was really good. We got in the chat here, Frantic World. Big Man Dog says Malachi put some in the sharing. Indonesian frog poison in that mist. We also got Frantic World who says Adam Copeland told Kyle O'Reilly to stop looking at his TNT title. He is turning heel. I'd be down for it. I think Cope's best work is always as a heel.
Oh, road to V's. I'm not looking forward to a 25-minute Copeland versus O'Reilly match. Sorry. Enough of this.
Why do you? He feels like he's going down the Triple H route of longer matches as you get older.
I know Triple H is watching, so I didn't want to say it, but my first thought with this match was this is a Triple H match. We cut it in half; it's fucking perfect. But we're enjoying it's epic. No, nigga, it's just long. Let's go. Let's get the fuck out of here, please.
Get a move on. Next up, we had the returning former AEW World Champion Samoa Joe going one-on-one with one half of Private Party, Isaiah Cassidy. Joe conducted the crowd as they chanted, Joe's gonna kill you. And Cassidy took it upon himself to be a little cocky going into this one. He grabs Joe's towel. He starts doing the Joe dance, the shimmy, the Shmurda dance. All that did was result in Joe basically grabbing him up by the towel, putting a pop-up flapjack that Cassidy screamed like a little bitch. Then Joe lit him up in the corner with some punches as Cassidy used his speed to catch Joe with a springboard cutter on the ropes. Then he went from a somersault dive, which might have been one of the best bumps that we've seen for the Joe Nope ever. This dude did a flat back bump on that thin piece of mat. Oh my God. Joe puts him back into the ring. Cassidy comes back. It's a pop-up drop kick, but that's not enough as he goes for a monkey flip and Joe doesn't even budge. Puts him on the top rope. Headbutt, muscle buster. 1, 2, 3. Samoa Joe picks up a win in his return. What did you think about this squash match? Fun squash match, but I would have preferred hearing from Joe after losing the world title.
Yeah, it's fucking cut 2 minutes from fucking. Yeah, more than 2 minutes. We cut 20 minutes from Adam, buddy. But let's say a couple minutes. Let you have a promo. Let him talk. I'm curious as to what the fuck happened.
I would have been fine. I would have been fine with this, and then the promo afterwards. I thought that's what they were gonna do. When I saw him come out for the match, I was like, "Oh, he's gonna cut a promo." I've seen Joe do this before, where he has a quick match up, cuts the promo after, and then they didn't give us the promo.
Yeah, it's not like we're pressed for fucking time. Let Joe talk. Do it, please.
Yeah, you gave another fucking match on this show, freaking 20 minutes. Like, Jesus.
I'm convinced they cut a match. They had to. They had to cut something. There's no way that was a plan going in. 20-minute Jericho match and a 25-minute Edge match. Good Lord.
We got Power Driver finisher. He says that walkaway spot was dang. Yes.
Yeah.
We got Roxy who says, damn, Jimmy, why the hate for the mid cards?
I don't hate the mid cards. They just need to know their place. The place is not next to the main eventers.
And only 10-minute matches.
Yes, please.
We got a first super chat donation. Thank you so much from Chuck Berries. We appreciate you, good sir.
Listen up, you prick.
Chuck Berry says Copeland versus Matthews match went on too long, and the crowd was very spotty. Would have loved to see a concerto. Yeah, that was the other thing, that the crowd was very spotty. They were into like the first 10 minutes. Then I think after the buddy spot with him coughing up the blood, the crowd died.
Yeah, it's a weird spot for a heel. Especially, yeah, I get Edge is different, so maybe he's even more violent, but that's not what happened. They just bumped each other. He's bleeding. Yeah. All right. Yeah, the match went on too long, and the crowd was weak. But it's Buddy Matthews. I like him, but we don't believe you, sir. We don't believe you.
You need more people.
Sorry.
More people and less time in the ring.
On a t-shirt.
They probably cut a squash match from this one. We got Delayed Gents who says exactly what the F is with AEW putting so much wrestling on a wrestling show, but we need promos and repetition and replays of the spots and catchphrases and repeated for the next year. Yeet, yeah.
This nigga really doesn't care what he watches. He really doesn't. It's Edge and Adam Copeland. It could be fucking MJF and Mike. He don't care. As long as it's long and gratuitous, he calls it a win. It doesn't matter. He's just watching niggas do shit just to do shit. It doesn't matter that was better 10 minutes ago. Just fuck it. It's long, and it's not like that other place, which makes it good. Why don't you try getting fucked in the ass, sir? Therefore, it won't be like that other thing you saw.
Jesus Christ!
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
Different for different sake isn't good. Long for long sake isn't good. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you don't understand this concept. Triple H versus Roman isn't better than Angle and Mysterio. It isn't. It just isn't. Why is this a hard concept? The fuck?
Big Red Dog says we don't need 20-minute TV matches unless it's like Kurt Angle versus Eddie Guerrero. No, unless it's like Will Ospreay or Bryan Danielson.
Ospreay and Danielson, Punk and MJF. There's plenty of great long matches. This just wasn't it.
This wasn't it. Yeah, like yeah. If a match is gonna be 20 minutes, if a match is gonna be 20 minutes, I need it to be a great 20 minutes. You didn't hear Jimmy complain about the 30-minute time limit draw between Swerve and Hangman earlier this year because that was one of the best TV matches of the year. That we did have a complaint of the 20-minute time limit draw between FTR and BCC because they just gave us a regular matchup at the pay-per-view after it. That it was a setup. It was a 20-minute time limit draw to set up another 20-minute matchup at the pay-per-view. Like, there's differences. It's context. Not every long match is created the same.
Put on a t-shirt. He's got an inferiority complex, and that's okay. Except you're getting some of your inferiority on me. I need you to tone it down. I'll put that on a t-shirt somewhere. I'm calm.
Get some of your inferiority on me. Ooh. Next up, we get a video package of Vignette from Sky Blue. She challenges Willow Nightingale for the TBS Championship on Rampage. She also mentions that the last time that they faced one-on-one, she would have won if it wasn't for that no good bald bitch Stokely Hathaway. And Stokely would have some words for her later on in the night. But I was fine with this.
She is not great. She's great to look at, but she's not a great promo. She's really good in the ring at this point. Really good strong. She's good in the ring. Promos could use some work.
See, I feel like this is a great standard to have. If it's a 20-minute TV match, it should either be spectacular or have doubt on who is going to win. Yes, and
I like it.
Yes, put it on a t-shirt. We got it. I'm going to star this comment. This comment is now our standard. This comment is now our standard to go by. If an AEW match is 20 minutes, it either has to be one of these two things. Either spectacular, have doubt on who will win. Stakes is fine, but I can't include that as it's a barometer of have doubt who's going to win or be spectacular. That's it.
Preferably both, but we'll take one.
Yeah, preferably both, but one or the other. We got next Orange Cassidy comes to the ring, makes his way to the ring. He gets on the mic and he says that he hates this. He thought that Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta fighting last Saturday on Rampage in the parking lot fight would have gotten it all out of their systems, and they'd be in this ring together as best friends again. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen, as Cassidy has informed us that his best friend, Chuck Taylor, will never wrestle again due to Beretta's post-fight attack with the pipe on his ankle.
Big pop.
Cassidy he says that now he is done trying to be best friends, done trying to solve this whole thing. Now he wants to fight and get revenge on Trent. This is brought out by Beretta, cutting him off, coming out on stage. He says, "What a surprise! Orange makes everything about himself." Cassidy is pissed and sprints up the ramp. He says that Trent says that this is all your fault, that Chuck was only injured because of you. This leads to security coming out to get in between Trent and Orange, as well as Chris Statlander, who's trying to talk some sense into Orange. Beretta's yelling that Cassidy is too selfish when Don Callis shows up. He walks out, he whispers something to Cassidy, and then he walks off with Orange as Beretta looks out to the crowd and does the Orange Cassidy thumbs up. This is something that they teased during the parking lot fight, the post-fight attack by Trent Beretta. They showed the post-fight attack by Trent Beretta, and then we saw Don Callis watching the fight backstage. So I think that this is something that was needed to add a little bit more intrigue, because Don Callis is the type of character that adds a little bit more interest and a little bit more intrigue of what he's going to do in any type of story. I think that this does lead to, though, Trent Beretta and Chris Statlander joining the family.
What? Seriously? Why? What? Where'd that come from? No, I'm scared. Why do you think Statlander's joining the family? By the way, you see her? Good Lord. Good Lord. All right.
I think she's going to turn heel, and I think Stokely's too funny to be heel with her now.
All right. I don't know why that bothers me, what it does. I think we're over the family. The family kind of stinks. I'm sorry.
Yes,
they're about to be Ospreyless. This is a waste. Orange Cassidy was fine, I guess. Trent was less than fine. Even though I did think he made a point originally about how Orange Cassidy made it by himself. Then I realized this is the guy that actually hurt Chuck, so it's not really how that works. Yeah, if it wasn't for the way Statlander looks and Don Callis in general, I could do without all this. But this is fine. That's fine, I guess. Rampage as feud.
We got Big Red Dog says, "Oh God, yes, I hate long matches where I already know who will win. I'm always wondering if people are pretending to be excited about the false finishes." And we got the late Gratz, who I think is just overcompensating himself, but he is now trying to gaslight us and saying, "Y'all overcompensating. You don't like long matches because you've been conditioned to short matches. Case closed." I think that we clearly explained the issue with long matches. So if you can't understand the words that are coming out of our mouth, I think that maybe you should probably be in school right now. Because, like, I don't know.
What the fuck?
I don't know. It's 2:00 on a Thursday. You should be in school if you can't understand English words that are really very simply explaining why we didn't like this particular long match and don't like long matches in general. I hate when people make generalizations like that.
I hate when people say case closed, like they fucking snap their fingers.
Yes.
Get the fuck out of here. Beat it. Period.
Annika says, "I low-key wanted OC to come from the other tunnel and hit Trent in the back."
Oh, I'm so annoyed now. That would have been perfect. He's kind of
It would have been great. It would have been great. I like this. I like that we have that there is a story that's going on and it's progressing every week. I know you feel like this is more of like a Rampage story or something that doesn't belong on Dynamite, but at least it's progressing every week and we're getting some type of story that you could follow through with.
Very true. I'll give it that. It's fun. You need low card stuff on the show.
Yeah, exactly. Myron Kid says, "Damn, SP3 went full heel." I don't know. When I take the time to kind of explain. If I see someone in the chat who's not understanding what our issue is or what we're trying to say, I very simply break it down and kind of spell it out for them. And then if they still don't understand, then you're just progressively, actively trying to be ignorant. And then I have to insult you. So that's kind of how it works. With me, at least. Annika, yes. Anyway, next up, we go backstage to the Young Bucks, who said that Renee Paquette. The Young Bucks say Renee Paquette is killing it. They ask how the family's doing, how John was doing, but they don't even care to even get her answer. Nicholas says that they've had too much TV time tonight, so they'll give some to their friend, the scapegoat, Jack Perry. Perry said that last week he did what's best for AEW as Tony Khan made him the scapegoat. He made a sacrifice. He made the sacrifice that he was willing to make, as sacrifices should be made by everyone, as we're now in a new era, an era under the elite. Any thoughts?
Why couldn't Punk choke somebody with talent? I don't ask for much. What the fuck? He's talented in the ring, but I gotta listen to him talk. What the fuck? Oh, I've switched allegiances. I'll never give CM Punk for this shit, ever. What the fuck? Now every day I have to listen to this. Every Wednesday I have to listen to this shit. Scapegoat. Oh. Listen, this is all fine in a vacuum. Auralist. That's a good way to put it. I used to say he lacks charisma. Auralist. That's much better. Ugh, what the fuck? Oh, well. He does look like Raven.
He does have the Raven hair. I will say that. Yeah, fuck that. Son said Punk finally put someone over, but not by choice.
I love that. When did that become a thing? Is that a thing?
Hey, I think he chose to punch Jack Perry. So.
No, I mean Punk didn't put people over. Is that a thing?
Yeah, no.
I've never heard
Punk put people over. Put MJF over, of course.
Oh, well, he starts. Then they took it away. They hate his guts.
Next, we have Chris Jericho defending the FTW Championship against Kazuchika Shibata. Jericho is out here. He's back in his Codebreaker gear, his Save Us Y2J gear, the trunks. I was like, Jericho, you are not in the shape to be wearing this stuff. Nonetheless, he did the change. We had Ted Irvine, Jericho's father, here as we're in Winnipeg. Jericho waved to the crowd like he was a man of the people. Taz is fired up on commentary. Taz is pissed. Taz says he's desecrating the FTW Championship. He even cuts off Excalibur trying to talk about the matchup. Like, no. I'm really pissed off about this shit. Excalibur informs us that this is Shibata's first ever no disqualification matchup. Both men trade chops early on as Jericho hit an early lion salt, but he got nothing but knees and low blowed Shibata in the process. Jericho grabbed a trash can lid and smacked it over Shibata's head, which was tough to watch if you know Shibata's history. He then pulls out a bag from under the ring, and it's a bag of hockey pucks. But he took too long to take advantage, so Shibata delivers an STO onto the pucks, then a snap suplex. We then get a chop battle, and this one goes on for literally over 5 minutes, where they're just chopping the hell out of each other. But more so, Shibata was chopping the shit out of Jericho. These were loud, echoing chops to the point that he was, like I said, it was a chop battle. So one chop, then you chop the other person. every time Jericho, after the first one that echoed in the building, Jericho was flinching so much he was blocking the next chop. It was so great to watch because Jericho was not ready for Shibata to hit him as hard as he did. Shibata was no-selling some of his chops. Those echoing chops sounded vicious. Went through the commercial break with nothing but chops throughout. Jericho gets the walls of Jericho, but Shibata escapes that into a figure four. So Jericho grabs one of the hockey pucks, throws it at Shibata's mouth, busting his nose open. Taz then gets teed up for a joke of what the puck. Excalibur says he only gets one of those. Jericho placed a trash can lid on Shibata and started hitting him with the kendo stick, but Shibata started no-selling, rising to his feet, stalking Jericho into the corner. He then started smacking Jericho in the head with the trash can as he still had it over his head. He then trapped Jericho in the corner with the trash can and hit a running drop kick. He had the broken now kendo sticks that Jericho broke over the trash can lid, and then he started trading kendo stick shots with Jericho right in the ear as they were sitting down, and then started trading some as they got up. He went for a big drop kick into a table in the corner, but Jericho caught him with a code breaker. He dodged the Judas effect and locked on a rear naked choke, then hit a ripcord slap to the face. He positioned the chair in the corner, but then Big Bill came out to the ring to help out Jericho, hitting a big boot, followed by a choke slam through the table. Jericho capitalized, pinning Shibata for the 1-2-3. Begrudgingly, I enjoyed this. Second week in a row, I enjoyed Chris Jericho's segment. I enjoyed this because he just dropped the shit out of him. The match went like 5 minutes too long, but I'd say if you cut out that 5 minutes, I would have said this was great.
Jesus, all right.
I felt like it was just a good mix of plunder, good mix of brawling and comedy, hard-hitting action. This is as good as you're going to get from a Chris Jericho match in 2024.
It's a goddamn shame. This was fine. No, I'll take your approach. This was fine. 5 less minutes rather have been good. It was violent, which I always appreciate. I can do without all. I know they hurt realistically, but they don't look great. The pucks, they just don't. It's not a great visual. It was kind of like fucking. It's a slightly better version of fucking. Who was that? Becky and Stratton with the fucking Barbie dolls. What the fuck that was?
Yeah. I didn't like that spot either. I will say the puck to the mouth though. That was a unique way to get out of figure four.
Yes, that was good. Listen, this is fine. For what Jericho is, this is fine.
That's how I felt. I was like, I'm upset I enjoyed this.
That's hilarious.
Second week in a row, this guy got me. He got me again. Like, God damn it.
I do appreciate the gimmick change. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Me too. I appreciate him. I appreciate him going the next step of changing into the trunks, actually. Even though he doesn't have the body for it. I appreciate it's a change. It's a change.
Yes. Props to him. He might be the most successful gimmick wrestler ever. Like, as many times he's changed it and like strong majority of them worked. This is actually good job.
Yeah. Josh Matlock saying, I hate that I'm into this D-bag Chris Jericho, but if I have to see him on TV, at least he's being who he is and not trying to shove the previous Jericho down our throats. And I don't feel like he's bringing anyone who could be a main eventer down to his level. He's working with people that I feel is at the level that he should be. He should be in the mid card and be someone that is like a gatekeeper for the main event scene as the first ever AEW World Champion.
Yeah, how's Jericho? 50 something?
53, 54. Yeah.
Okay. Brandon. About where it should be.
We got Big Man Dogs. He says, I know I've been hyping up Jericho, but after that Copeland match, I actually found use for a cage match to see how long it was, and I skipped it.
I can't blame you. It was entirely long for two reasons.
You can't have two of these, man. You can't have two long matches with two guys in their 50s. Like, that's just ridiculous.
Oh, Edge's in the 50s?
think he's like 49. If he's not 50, he's like 49.
You look Jesus. You look fantastic, sir.
Yeah,
outside of your hair, I wouldn't be able to tell.
Word.
Hair is heinous.
Word. Can't grow it out though, because it looks even worse then. We got Myron Kidd. He says, time to take a break from these chop off spots. AEW. Jericho loves them.
He does. Bret Hart was throwing up. Poor Bret. He doesn't even like Gunther for doing the chops.
Really?
Bret is very specific that wrestling is not supposed to hurt. That's the whole fucking point. It's not supposed to actually hurt.
We got another super chat donation once again from Chuck Berries. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries. We appreciate it.
I'm serious. I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.
Chuck Berry says, I can see the crowd chanting one more match for Jericho versus Taz versus Jericho next week. I hope not.
God.
Taz already said he got too many surgeries he got to get. He got to get hip replacement, shoulder replacement. This man is broken wounded right now.
Yeah. I'll be nice. Yeah, he's also not in physical condition. Even if he was perfectly healthy, how to wrestle much.
We got Josh Matlock says the puck to the mouth drew blood. Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. The puck to the mouth. That was a nice set right there. Nice move right there. Hassan says this was Shibata's first ever no disqualification match. Made it work for him. I thought he worked well in it.
Yeah. How many of these losses is he gonna take? Are we just whatever? He lost to Ospreay, he lost to Dragon, he lost to this nigga.
Yeah, I hope that this is the end for a while at least, because like you're basically, the more and more losses it's gonna be, the more and more less people are gonna be interested in you the next time they see you.
Yeah, maybe that's what he says. He is. I'm not mad at it. I don't care one way or another, but I thought it was a bigger deal than this.
Yeah. Renee Paquette is backstage with TBS champion Willow Nightingale, Chris Statlander, and Stokely Hathaway. Statlander apologizes for last week in trying to defuse the situation. You made her get slapped. Paquette brings up Sky Blue as Nightingale says she's in a fighting mood, and for Monet to think that she hasn't forgotten about her. Nightingale will maim Blue tonight in a Manitoba massacre. As Hathaway, he says that he can't complain about Blue's comments about him since Tony Khan was taken out by the Young Bucks. Paquette is then handed a cell phone from good friend of the channel, Will Washington, making his official AEW debut. She gives him the cell phone from the Young Bucks, who Renee reads the message saying that the Young Bucks said that Statlander and Hathaway were banned from ringside tonight, and if they interfere, Nightingale will lose her TBS title. And Stokely had the line of the night when he said, "What besides my own actions made me deserve this?" Stokely, always. What besides my own actions made me deserve this?
I was not focused on Stokely at all. I can't Statlander standing there. Sorry. This was, look at Jesus. Willows didn't look bad either. God damn. Anyway, what was this about? All right. Mercedes. Mercedes. This is fine. Listen, Willow's great baby face. Statlander's clearly a turn heel. I just don't know when. I'm praying it's not with the family. Please don't. Just turn heel. Turn heel. You can even join Mercedes if you have to. But please.
I'd be down with that. I'd be down. Stokely and Stat joining up with Mercedes. Just take everything for Willow, even her friends.
Oh.
We got in the chat here Josh saying Stokely is a national treasure. I agree. We also got Frantic World. He says we saw Will Washington for the first time on Dynamite. So happy for him. Absolutely. We got Byron Kidd who says Jimmy driving the milk truck today. I see.
I've been on Team Willow for a long while. Statlander crushed it last night. She went off. God damn. Oh, Jesus. I'm focused.
Oh my God. Frantic World says, I just realized that Statlander was looking very good last night.
Just realized. I'm just going to stop thinking about it.
Brooklyn Big says Stokely's line sums up everything going on today. Yes. What was that? My own actions. Like that line. I'm gonna need Romeo to clip that line. That line is something that I gotta put. That would describe so many instances on this show. So I think that we need that clip. What besides my own action made me deserve this? Next up, we got Claudio Castagnoli going one-on-one with Brian Cage of Mogul Embassy. This is a follow-up from Claudio challenging Swerve for the AEW World Championship on Collision. Prince Nana not here with Cage due to the attack from the Patriarchy earlier in the show. Both men started off the matchup charging right at one another, slugging away with some big old lariats. Neither man falling down. Both men traded suplex. The other would pop right back up. Cage connected with a Hurricane Rana. Cage tried for a leapfrog, but Castagnoli caught him in mid-air with a tilt-a-whirl slam. We get a stalling power body slam and then a double stomp. A twinkle toes. He was like Fred Flintstone playing bowling on the double stomp where he twinkle-toed across the ring. Cage sent Claudio to the apron. He followed up with a suplex from the outside, back inside, back from break. Cage connected with a Tiger Fin kick, the 619, and then a discus clothesline for a 2 count. Claudio floated over a Drew call attempt and then hit a springboard uppercut, some more uppercuts before getting Brandon Cage in position for a 619 of his own, and then a big lariat for a near fall. He answered back. We get a water wheel drop by Claudio. Claudio answered again with a pop-up uppercut. Then he got for the giant swing into the sharpshooter to pick up the victory here. Claudio Castagnoli regaining momentum after his loss against Swerve Strickland on Collision here. I thought this was a very good hoss fight. Good hoss fight. It was physical, and this was the first time throughout the night I texted Jimmy and I was like, this felt like the first match that ended at its peak.
Yes, and then when it was supposed to. Let's go home. Get the fuck out of here. Good match. I mean, you know who's gonna win, so no need to overstay our welcome. I have no complaints.
Me either.
I don't think. Yeah, I have no complaints. Did we get explanation for why Brian Cage didn't go out there for Swerve?
Not really, because Mogul Embassy never looked like they have each other's back.
They're not really a
until he actually asks for it, which I think is next week, because he did have a promo later on Rampage. But we get Renee Paquette backstage. She is with Rocky Romero and asks whose side he is with in the Best Friend saga. I like the fact that, once again, this feels like an interconnected story because it's got this involved. You got the Don Callis family involved. You got Chris Statlander, who's also involved in the Mercedes Willow program. Then you got Rocky here, who's being asked about it. Romero said that he's not on either person's side. He said no one wins in this type of scenario. As he told them all that from this moment on, Romero was on his own. Rocky says he wants to be the best in AEW, and the only way to do that is to win championship gold. So he wants to challenge. He wants to start by challenging one of the best wrestlers in the company in Kyle O'Reilly on Rampage as a way to earn his title shot. Any thoughts?
Nigga hole, here we come. Sorry, Rocky. You had to be fair, you had a really nice secondary run here. But if you're not connected to Best Friends, this is over. I think you know this, right? Fair enough.
I was like, you a fucking cop-out. What a fucking cop-out. Like, well, you better pick. Why do you pick a side? You would. I'm sorry. I thought that you could have been the person to pick the Trent side. You're closer to Trent.
Ooh.
You're a better heel than a babyface.
How old is Rocky? Rocky looks like he should be somebody important. The eye patch, he's got kind of this old man soul about him.
Mm-hmm.
He needs some gray in his beard. Looks important. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a bigger trend. That'd work. But listen, this feud is I still think this feud is 5 years too late. Well, 5 years when it started. 3 years too late.
It's like 5 minutes when it started. Hassan says this match was meaty, talking about Claudio and Cage. We got Josh who says, good to see Claudio win, but match was just okay with a couple of good spots. We got Power Driver Finisher. He says, I'm on Trent's side. I mean, Drake made good points last week. I won't front. Orange was supposed to be their mascot. And Orange did take over the spotlight. I agree.
I can't help that you guys are bums. I'm here to help. I'm here to help and people like me more than they like you. Sorry. It's called charisma, which you guys are sorely lacking. Is Chuck Taylor really never going to wrestle again?
I don't know. I'm wondering if that's real or work or real. I'm assuming it's a work.
I mean, yeah, he just had a fucking street fight. So,
yeah, but it was interesting that they had specified that he wasn't cleared, and then he worked that parking lot fight not being cleared. I could see a scenario where he worked that he was cleared enough to do something physical, and that was the way to kind of write him off.
Here's hoping. I mean, I want to lose his career.
Christ. Yeah, like no. That's what you said, sir.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
What I mean is, things have consequences. On a TV show, I like that. So I'm so upset when people like Joe don't talk about the awful shit that just happened. Like, losing a belt is the worst thing that can happen in the context of this TV show. Therefore, it's like if somebody died on fucking The Wire or Breaking Bad, and then nobody acknowledged it next week. Just
true. Good point.
Move on.
I agree. I can see your point there, and that's why I said like that was my one big thing that was missing from that whole Joe Isaiah Cassidy segment was you needed Joe to cut a promo afterwards, just to respond. I'm going to work my way back to getting the championship, like he was cutting those promos after he lost to MJF at Grand Slam.
Honestly, we talked last week about how Swerve was treated rather differently than past world champions on their first night. To me, this is a theme with former champions on the first night. I remember when Moxley got screwed out of the belt and fucking Omega and Don Callis bolted out of the fucking arena. He just disappeared for 2 weeks and came back and nothing happened. Hey, you know, I was just a champion for fucking 2 decades. I'm just back now. Time to have a good time. What? Oh.
I'm back. I'm going to have a match.
John Moxley's here. Shouldn't he be upset? He got screwed out of his life's work? I don't know.
We got Big Man Does says Orange Cassidy is the only one who was winning. To be fair. We also got Annika saying, sorry, I became a champion and all you guys have is a parking lot brawl.
It's all over. Sorry, Trent. Wish you the best.
Frantic Girl said, Trent said to OC, I hate the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you look.
Hate the way you walk, hate the way you talk. This nigga is mad. Go ahead, Kendrick.
Serena Deeb up next, going one-on-one with Mariah May with Timeless Tony Storm and Luther in her corner. Mariah May came out dressed in Tony Storm's debut AEW gear, and she went up against Serena Deeb. And quite honestly, this was probably even more hard-hitting than all the other matches that we see on this show. And the technical wrestling was just so smooth. Serena Deeb is just so good. When she did the little early on, where she grabs her up and does the little arm and leg submission, then later in the matchup where she does the twisting backslide, that shit, I was like, no one does that. This is moves that they used to do like in the 80s, early 90s that no one does anymore. And Serena Deeb pulls it out, and it's just the best thing ever. And she dead ass a lot of her work and her mannerisms going to the ring with like stopping for the young fan and stuff. She is very much watching a lot of Bret Hart work, in my opinion.
Indeed.
Because of the way she's locking on submissions. It's so much like Bret. Like this half crab at the end, I was like, that's Bret on the sharpshooter. That like the way she has the leg,
lay down,
everything,
yeah.
like lay down, sit on it. Like, oh my God, Serena Deeb is so good. But the finish, I really like this because it's more of kind of foreshadowing for the future, because this half crab was on for maybe 20 seconds. And Tony Storm said, "You're hurting the child. She's just a child," and throws in a towel. Maybe because she doesn't want to face Mariah May. And she knew if Mariah won this matchup, she would have to verse Mariah May. So by throwing in the towel, she not only doesn't give Mariah May the win, but she gave the win to Serena Deeb, and thus setting up at AEW Double or Nothing, it will be Serena Deeb versus Timeless Tony Storm. This might have been my favorite match of the night. Like, I liked the Claudio and Cage matchup, and that was the first one that peaked at the right time, but this peaked at the right time, and I enjoyed the finish more because of what it may lead to. And I'm liking Timeless Tony Storm versus Serena Deeb. Despite all of that, it does feel very much like a challenger of the month, despite all my praise for Serena Deeb.
Yeah, Deeb is great. She's not winning this fucking belt. It's just cannot happen. Match was good. Deeb is fucking fantastic. Mariah May is on the stiffer side, which is why I fucking enjoy it.
I enjoyed the hell out of Mariah May matches. She don't hold nothing back. Nothing back. She's not gonna up on no punches, yo.
And Tony Storm is always great, which is why I don't take anything Tony Storm says at a press conference too seriously. Why you get butthurt about it? She's talking about wrestling's important, no characters. She's just a character. She's quite literally a character, running around doing goofy shit. What are you getting upset about? Who cares?
Yeah, I was like so weirded out by that the next day. I was like,
go watch her
about this
movie.
I was like, y'all upset by this?
Look at her. If this was, I'm trying to think who was this. A woman. This is Thunder Rosa or somebody. I'd be like, all right, we get it. You're a wrestler. We got it. All right, who cares? Tony Storm literally got over from being fucking ridiculous.
It's very much like I compared Timeless Tony Storm earlier this week because we did the review on Dark Side of the Ring for the Sensational Sherry episode. Seeing Sherry's career very akin to Timeless Tony Storm, where they got their reputation for being really good wrestlers, and then they found a character that just took them to the next level.
Yeah, that's all she's over for. Sorry. I'd like more for Deeb, but hey, what are you gonna do? You're on Dynamite. You're getting a fucking pay-per-view match. Call to win.
Yes. We got Louis says, was Deeb doing all this on that Saturday show this whole time? Yeah. Deeb is really good. She's really good in the ring. Like, I gotta give it to her. We got Josh who says, I really enjoyed the in-ring work and storytelling. The crowd was terrible most of the night, but even worse for this match. The ending was well done and will lead to so much later on. Yeah, the crowd was awful during this match. This was the match where I was just like, yeah, I mean, they haven't had much to get excited about anyway before this, but they at least could have like got up for the ladies.
Why? No. Deeb's not over. I love Deeb. She's over with us, but that's about it. And Mariah May is Tony's second. Sorry.
That's fair. That is fair.
Feminism in the crowd. It's a wrestling crowd. Yeah.
Myron Kids says that Winnipeg crowd did not like that throwing in the towel ending at all. Yeah, because they probably didn't get it, and they were like, "Oh, why is she doing that?"
They just don't care. I'm sorry. Sorry to break the news to you.
We got Power Driver Finisher says, I wish the best for Serena, but knowing that she has certain health issue, I don't see them giving her a belt, but I always enjoy her matches. I'm the same way.
What's her health issue? I know she's had them. What is it?
Didn't she have like seizures last year? That's why it delayed her coming back to the ring.
Right. That is no fucking joke.
No joke at all. Frantic World says this woman's match was really good. We also got Hassan who says the same thing. The woman cooked so hard last night. Big Man Dog says this was my actual match of the night. I was joking about Joe. He got Annika says love D getting her swagger back. Yeah, I like that little by little she's showing more confidence, and I liked her promo on Collision or Rampage last week where she was just like, I'm sick of waiting. I'm going for the championship. I'm not waiting in any lines anymore. And then we got Annika who says, so knowing TK, the end game is May versus Storm. Will it be worth it in the end? Mariah May to be the one to dethrone Storm? Because I wanted Mercedes to be the one. I think that Jamie Hayter will be the one to dethrone Tony, and it will be because of Mariah May.
Where's Jamie Hayter coming from, sir? Do you know something we don't know? If you do, spit it out.
I know something you value. That's our private.
Listen, that happened. I would fucking love it, but give it up for Jamie Hayter. Sorry.
This did feel like a WWE crowd, like what Big Man Dogs is explaining. This is the kind of casual crowd who only pops when something is actually over. Entrances, finishers, finishes. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's okay. Not to
Did he say his last time he went to Winnipeg?
I think
his last time he went to
so.
Winnipeg.
Probably did. Probably did.
Go in here. What are we going here for?
But the reason why we are here in Winnipeg is for the return of former AEW World Champion, a man that is the only person who has ever won the AEW World Championship, the AEW World Tag Team Championship, and the AEW World Trio Championship. He is the pride and joy of North Carolina. Kenny Omega is back to a massive hometown pop from the crowd. Omega comes down to the ring and he grabs the mic. He says that he's never been good at talking about injuries, but a few months back, he was diagnosed with diverticulitis. And after spending 10 days in the hospital, he was informed he was 24 hours away from dying. He says that it's an internal injury and that any blunt force trauma to the stomach could kill him. The doctors told him they need to get this handled because if not, it's a ticking time bomb inside of him. He says, all right, just take care of it and sew me back up so I can head back to Dynamite. But since that day, Omega says that he has had to stop watching wrestling completely because he was scared for the first time in his career. And it made him feel like a coward. Maybe this whole thing was to come out and say to the fans he had to retire. Omega said that though all of those thoughts had been in his head for months, he turned on AEW for the first time a few weeks ago, and he watched AEW Dynasty. He brought up that he saw Swerve Strickland making history. He also saw Bryan Danielson and Will Ospreay having one of the greatest matches of all time. And Omega started shaking again. And he wondered if it was due to being scared. But he says that's life. The reason he was shaking, though, wasn't that he was scared. The reason he was shaking was due to withdrawal. Being the best is what fuels him. Professional wrestling is what he loves, and that's what fuels him. He hates it that he's been forgotten. He's been gone so long that so when people talk about the best wrestler in the world, they don't even bring up his name. He feels like he's been forgotten. Omega made a promise to himself, and then he said he's making that promise to the fans that this isn't over until he exhausts all options. Even it's a 1% chance, even with a colostomy bag on the top, he says he will be back in the ring and he will be back in AEW. But on the topic of colostomy bags, he brings up his two former friends, those two shit bags, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. What they forgot as EVPs is there's one other EVP. And as he has been maybe fired from the elite, they can't fire him as EVP. Until someone says otherwise, part of this company belongs to the best bout machine. At this point, the coin drops, and out comes Kazuchika Okada. He comes face to face with Kenny Omega to holy shit chance Omega and Okada in a ring again. Oh, what it is to be alive. Omega says that it's funny and brought up their rivalry in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And he says, how about you give me a few months and we'll settle this once and for all in an AEW ring. The Rainmaker versus the Best Bout Machine. Okada laughs and says, he's sorry, Kenny, but he's the Best Bout Machine now. The way he said it with the cocky little smirk on his face was great. At that point, Jack Perry flies in and attacks Omega from behind. Okada goes to the outside and throws a chair in the ring for Perry. Perry takes the chair and starts wiping out security who's trying to stop him from attacking Omega. Omega starts fighting back. I was totally surprised Omega did any type of offense. He starts throwing jabs to the point he jabs Jack Perry right in the eye legit and busts his eye open. He hits a Snapdragon, but he starts clutching his midsection. He rips open his shirt, showing us that he's in shape, that he's still working out despite his real life disease. He signals for the V trigger. When he goes to the ropes, Okada trips him up, and then he turns around right into Jack Perry with a blunt force trauma right into the midsection of Kenny Omega with a steel chair. At that point, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson run down to the ring. They tell Okada and Perry to relax. Omega tries to get up, grabbing at their legs. They grab Omega's hands and they yell, EVP trigger. So last week, Tony Khan gets the Tony Khan driver. This week, EVP Kenny Omega gets the EVP trigger. Okada picks up Omega, and he's about to hit him with some type of offense for the first time in this whole beatdown. Jack Perry beat down on Omega, EVP trigger from the Bucks, but Okada really didn't touch Kenny throughout this whole beatdown. He's about to give the Rainmaker when FTR's music hits. They sprint down to the ring. The Elite bail, and we close the 2-hour block of Dynamite with Kenny Omega being checked on by doctors. FTR checking on him here, but the angle continued in Rampage as we kicked off the Rampage hour with Omega being stretchered out, being put on the stretcher, brought to the back with FTR by his side as he's about to be carted into the ambulance. We get the Elite coming from behind, attacking and ambushing FTR. They beat up the doctors as well. They leave Kenny all alone on the stretcher and they just hover over him. Matthew says that he loves Omega to death, but this is just business. They have to change the world, but they can't do that with Kenny. So they flip over the stretcher onto the concrete floor. They told the doctors to check on him as Dax Harwood crawls over to Kenny to check on him. I love this segment. I thought that what was missing from last week was realism and kind of seriousness, and this had it. This felt more believable than last week, where Kenny sold the beatdown very well. He was awesome.
Like last week.
The promo. I love last week, but I said the one thing that it was missing was realism. Because Tony Khan couldn't do that. But Kenny Omega could, and I thought his promo was fantastic. Maybe his best promo on AEW television because it felt real. It felt like everything he was saying was real, but 100%. The blunt force trauma topic statement had to be a work because, like, if you say that and then he gets hit in the ribs with a steel chair, what are we doing?
I forgot exactly what Kenny said about blunt force trauma. He was saying that this is gonna be like for the rest of his life.
He said it could kill him. They say he said they have to split him open and take whatever's out of him out, and then he has to walk around with a colostomy bag.
Yeah, and then if he has blunt force trauma, he could kill. It's not how that works, sir. Then Brock had this. Brock had the reticulitis. Then he had UFC fights. Pretty sure it's not how that works. But I'm here. Listen, it's wrestling. Make up whatever you want. If I get hit in the face, I could die. Yeah, sure. Kenny was fucking great. That's the most likable he's ever been. It's the most I've ever empathized with him. It's his best promo in AEW, certainly. Best promo I've ever seen. Okada coming out. His face. There's nothing. He's never doing anything with his face this time. He's just standing there. There's something funny about it. It's just, first of all, he towers over everybody, and then he just kind of looks at you like he really doesn't give a fuck about anything you're talking about.
He's just so arrogant. That's the best way to describe him. He is probably the most arrogant person on wrestling television today, and he doesn't have to say a word to get that across.
And his face just looks like, oh. Beatdown was good. I mean, Kenny obviously is a listen, you and I could have done better than fucking Tony Khan did. But Kenny being a fucking professional, obviously is even better than fucking Tony Khan. He was great. Him fighting back lets me know he might have been cleared to wrestle, but he's clearly fine. Whatever did that Verticulitis did, he's back from that. He may not be in wrestling shape, but he's fine. You said he really punched Jack Perry? I gotta watch that again.
Yeah, you didn't see at the end when Jack Perry kept checking on his eye? Those jabs, when he hit him with those jabs, he might have caught him with a real one because Jack Perry was selling. He had a bloody eye in the post-match. And then they did the social media interview where Jack Perry's like pouring water into his eye. Is that all you got, Kenny? Is that all you got? It was a great promo. That one.
So now he's been choked for real and punched for real. Poor fucking Jack Perry. Maybe you should retire. Just a thought to help you out. I'm not gonna shit on the Bucks. So I don't want to shit on Nick Jackson. But as far as Matt goes, what? I didn't even say anything negative yet. The Matt stuff was fucking. I like it in a vacuum. Like the fucking talking to him after he tore you on the stretcher, saying we got to do this. We just can't do it with you. Then throwing it over. I'm here for all of this. And it was done as well as Matt Jackson could do it. How was that? That was pretty good.
It was. I am not sure how to pronounce either one of these names, but Connected Universe says it seemed like there was more storylines. I'm liking it now. If they can give us the best of both worlds next week, the in-ring work with this type of storytelling. Yeah, I will say that the last 2 weeks, you were the one that mentioned it. And I didn't really realize it or hit home with me until this week. It felt like a very different change as far as the storytelling in AEW. That's why I mentioned the connective tissue of the whole Orange Trent story and how it was throughout the show. The Elite and the Young Bucks taking over were throughout the show. They slipping into the Willow storyline with them kind of getting mad at what Stokely said. And then they're also slipping into the Swerve storyline of anyone who was, I saw somebody earlier in the chat who was like, oh, why are they not doing the rankings for who was going to first swerve? It's because the Young Bucks chose who was going to first swerve. That's the difference. But I think that I like the storytelling is there's connecting throughout of the show as far as the Young Bucks and the Elite, Orange and Trent. I think that the big changes that they need to bring as far as next week's show is, yes, the in-ring work has to be back where it was before. If you could mix both, have good to great in-ring work with the storytelling, I think that's where AEW will be the alternative that they want to be. But I did notice more the shift that you were saying last week, this week, with the storytelling being a lot more different, a lot more tighter.
Agreed. My question would be, what matches are announced for next week? I don't remember any.
Trent versus Orange Cassidy and Adam Copeland versus Brody King for the TNT Championship.
Those matches could be fun, assuming they're kept to a decent length. I hated it. I can't be honest. I know it was 2011 at the time, but I hated the McMahon Helmsley regime, which is what this reminds me of, way more than NWO actually. I hope this doesn't last long. I can't say much more than that. I was good with it this week. I was good with it last week. It gets old fast. Yeah, it was proper. It was properly done. I wish it wasn't Matt Jackson, but you know what? I'll take it. There's an alternative right there. Nick is right there. He's right there.
I will say that though. Like, I want Swerve to be more involved in the top program.
Yeah,
I thought his promo on Collision was aiming towards him having Jack Perry or Hangman as his challenger, so he's involved in some way in the top program, but this shift him more into the second biggest program in the company.
Ain't this a bitch? Well, I don't really know what to tell you. I'm sorry, Swerve. I know you thought you were special, but you're not. You're just black. You're special.
Oh my God, were you this guy? you're just
sorry.
black.
I don't get to be the top guy. I have the belt, don't I? I'm one of the most over guys in the company. Am I not? I can't even be in the top program. I don't get any overarching story. I'm just here in the opening segment and then gone. And that's lucky because a week ago, I was fucking in the third segment and then bounced.
Fourth segment.
I forgot because we had the real world champion before me.
I will say, it feels like 2 weeks in, Willow is being booked like how I wish Swerve was.
Right?
Willow got the title celebration that I wish Swerve got last week, and then she got a main event matchup. Yes, it was the main event of Rampage, but still a main event matchup.
Certainly is. Next week needs to be Swerve's week. He needs to be looking for revenge on Christian.
They need to make that like a centerpiece segment, like either top of the hour or end of the show.
Yes. And then fucking the Bucks tell him to knock it off. You're causing havoc. We can't have that in our locker room. We went through that before. We can't have people causing havoc in our locker room.
Yes, absolutely. But let's give our let us know in the live chat what was your match of the night, MVP, LVP, out of 10. What did you give Dynamite and everything else before we wrap up things with Rampage, with the Rampage hour? I'll go through that very quickly here. But for me and Jimmy, for this week's AEW Dynamite, let's put our thumbs in the middle for the May 1st, 2024 edition of Dynamite. Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up across the board from both of us. Out of 10, what did you give the show, Jimmy?
I'm going to go 7. I want to go 7.5, but I couldn't reach it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think this is a 7 show. It was honestly a thumbs in the middle, thumbs down before the main event segment. The main event segment, I think, really drove it home that this was a good show.
Agreed. Omega was fantastic.
Yeah, Omega was great. This was, and we were talking about it also in our private chat. Omega was just felt like a star. Like how he looked, the promo, how he was presented in the main event spot, the reaction that he got. It's like this was a star that you need right now. Like there's 2 guys I feel like AEW needs right now that they can't have right now, and that's Omega and MJF.
Oh, right. Right. Oh, shit.
Oh. We got in the chat here, we got Power Driver Finisher says it was different and not too many things that I would complain about. We also got Roxy who says she gives it a 7 out of 10. She also had another comment. I missed the super chat. Oh, let me get to that. Oh, yes. We got Roxy with a super chat donation. Thank you so much, Roxy. We appreciate the love, the support, and of course, so does
Listen up, you prick.
And so
Kill him, but don't push me. That's Tupac.
What a great crowd that was.
Roxy says 2 EVPs factions. Nice. Who's gonna join Omega's faction? I think that Omega's gonna probably be like the head representative of like Team AEW versus the Elite. So you got Omega, FTR, and Swerve.
That's 4. I assume that's Omega's back. What? A couple months? I think 3 months.
Yeah, and you could throw someone like maybe like probably after he's done with House of Black, Barry and House of Black, Copeland would want to jump in here with FTR. And then you could put Hangman on the elite side.
So I was thinking 5-on-5. I'm not mad at that. We're gonna have some kind of war games for the.
I'm hoping. Honestly, that match, if it's those people, that feels too big to do on an episode of Dynamite. That might be the first time they do a blood and guts on it. And that I suggest they do a blood and guts on a pay-per-view.
Omega's been in them, right?
What, Omega's been in blood and guts? Yeah.
Yeah.
He was in blood and guts last year.
Yeah. Sorry, I just not a. I'll be nice. He's a big name, and was a star at one point. I think there was a 3-week period where he was a really big star, and it's over. 2006 January, he was a really big star. It was over.
Very big star. He cashed in Money in the Bank, had sex on TV. Yeah. Very big star.
TLC matches done a whole bunch of shit, and it was over. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm here for that. That match laid out's pretty good.
Yeah. We got Big Man Dodge that says Omega and MJF are my AEW faves, and they're both gone. Hard times. And Hater, he says.
Right. Those are my two favorites, MJF and Hater. And what do I have to look forward to? Matt Jackson. I'm trying my fucking best to like Matt Jackson because this is gonna be the thing for at least another month. And give me Jay White. You put Jay White in the elite. You have nobody who can talk in the elite. This is insane.
Like I was saying, who does Hangman choose? I would think Hangman would choose whatever side Swerve's not on.
That's what I was thinking. If Swerve's involved, he's definitely going to the other side.
He's definitely on the other side. Does not matter that Matt and Nick suspended him. He's going to be like, yeah, I'm going to be with y'all. I'm not going to be with him.
Absolutely.
What was your match of the night for Dynamite?
Boy, I think I'm going to go with fucking Deeb and Mariah May. I thought it was a good match, and it didn't bore me.
I'm going to go with Deeb and Mariah May as well. MVP for the show?
It's got to be Kenny Omega.
Omega, by far. He just felt like the biggest star on this show. And LVP for the show, Sheesh. Either I was gonna say Isaiah Cassidy or
I'm gonna go actually.
Or the crowd.
Oh Jesus. No, I'm not gonna get the crowd. Wait a minute, you guys are all about them they can free to express themselves when they booed what's her face. What's her name? Dupree. Now it's all
I'm fine with them making noise.
I know they can express themselves however they want. We're expressing ourselves by shutting the fuck up. We're not interested. I'm going with Samoa Joe. Sorry. Squash match, no promo. Sorry, Charlie.
That's fair. We gave it to Swerve last week for the same reason. So Frantic Girl saying, I'm thinking Kenny can get Bullet Club Gold to help him, or Bullet Club. No, you're bugging. Those are both heels.
Still holding on to the Jay White hope. Huh? It's over. He doesn't like Jay White. I'm sorry.
We got Louis. He says Canada LVP. We got Matt MCAS who says the crowd. We got Frantic World who says Chris Jericho. We got Power Driver Finisher who says Edge.
I'm not mad at that, but his promo afterwards I really enjoyed. His segment before Riley.
Yeah, he got his new character, the direction of his story down. Like I said, I'm enjoying the stories that they got going on right now because it seems like there's a lot more effort and it's tighter as far as what's the point of all these stories.
Same, but could you imagine if it was 1998 and you like actually hated Vince McMahon? Like you didn't find him entertaining at all. You couldn't enjoy this 2 hours. You just couldn't.
Yeah,
it was him. Matt Jackson stinks, sir.
I like him. And I like what he does to you. Let's talk about Rampage. I don't even have pictures up because my other computer sucks. Switchblade Jay White versus Dante Martin was the opening matchup. on Rampage. This was a follow-up from Bullet Club Gold, picking up the victory over Action Andretti and Top Flight on Collision last week. We got Dante was keeping Jay White on his back foot, using his agility and athleticism. He hit a nice little nosedive late in the matchup for a close near fall. He went for a spinning slam, but Jay White was able to counter that into a sleeper suplex. Then the Blade Runner spiking Martin on his head for the victory here. Jay White was about to leave. But he picked up the hand of Martin, looking like he's raising his hand, only to sucker him into a bloody Sunday. I was like, the referee walked out the ring thinking that Jay White was showing him respect. I was like, no, he's gonna fucking fuck him up. He gives him the bloody Sunday. Out comes Darius Martin and Action Andretti to run to the ring and make the save for his brother. So nice little segment here. I thought it was a good matchup with Jay White picking up the victory here, but nothing to write home about. We then had Arcada Aura, who's a new backstage interviewer. She's standing by with Deanna Purrazzo. She's cute. But Jimmy, we got what we wanted. We've been hunting for it. It was signaled on Rampage last week when she attacked Thunder Rosa from behind, but this promo confirmed it. Deanna Purrazzo is finally a heel, and she acknowledged the fact that she's been a heel this whole time. Like she says, she attacked Thunder Rosa last week because she said when enough is enough. She's the virtuosa, she's all elite, and she hasn't felt like herself this entire time. After last week, she's starting to feel like herself again, and if Rosa wants to make this personal, she can do exactly that. You shouldn't mess with a Jersey girl because you won't be around to remember why you did it in the first place. And then flipped it and did the Italian flip off.
That's hilarious. Don't mess with a Jersey girl because of herpes, but I guess that explanation was
Jesus Christ.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
It's a pimple. No, it fucking certainly is not. No pimple when I see it. I'm gonna pass on this. Thanks.
Annika, excellent code question. So an Osprey on Omega's side. I think I heard Dave Meltzer suggesting that as well, that Osprey should get involved in this angle.
I'm sure he does. He thinks fucking everybody should be connected to Osprey in some form or fashion.
He does.
Sure. With the Omega Osprey. No. Oh my God. You know what? That'd be perfect for Swerve's title reign. He's behind Omega. He's behind Osprey. He's a number 3 guy on his own fucking group. Goddamn shame.
Man. Yes, I agree. You're wild for saying that, sir. We get a video package for Roosh, who returned on Collision. He said that he's back to make a statement. Then we hear from Renee Paquette, who's backstage with Big Bill, who says that he still wants to be under the learning tree of Chris Jericho. He says he has all the tools to make it to the top, but just needs the proper guidance. Jericho is the one who can give him that guidance and take him to the promised land. Jericho walks in and he's like, oh, hey. Yeah, Bill. He literally did that. He looked at the camera and said, oh, hey. He was able to retain his title tonight over Shibata because the fans cheered him on to victory. Bill is right. He'd love to take him into the Jericho vortex. Bill says he won't let him down. And Jericho says that he is now the big redwood of the learning trees.
Oh my God. That is fucking heinous.
It's so heinous.
I wonder if this is a play. I know we think the vortex is a play on how internet fans are talking about Chris Jericho. I wonder if the learning tree is a play on how he gets women up to his room. It's like, I want to teach you some stuff. Come up, learn under the learning tree. They go, where's the learning tree? And he fucking unzips his pants slowly.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
He's older. He needs a little more time, so he zips it down as slowly as he can. Then he pulls it out. She says, redwood, that's more like a twig. Oh. Then they run through him as fast as possible. And Tony Khan catches him on the way out and says, "Sign this."
Tony Khan, this is also on you, because you can stop this.
I got a TV deal to protect. Sign this.
We got Big Man Duds who says Tony won't even let Swerve be part of Omega's Cool Kids Club.
I would not be shocked.
I would not be shocked either. We got Annika who says, "Where the freak is Ricky?" It feels like Ricky is being set up that his only possible feud to return to is another feud with Chris Jericho.
Oh my god, poor fucking Ricky.
Unless he says fuck that and then goes for like an AEW World Championship. There's so many babyface champions in this company. Like Ricky Starks can have an entertaining feud with any of them.
Yes, Bucks and FTR. What's their They're gonna have another match. Clearly, what's gonna be the match for pay-per-view? You think there's another match?
I would think either 2 out of 3 falls or like a cage match would be like the most appropriate at this point. But I don't think that's the match at Double or Nothing. I think that FTR teams up with 2 other people to verse the Elite and Anarchy in the Arena.
Oh my god, pardon me. And it's gonna main event over Swerve. I bet. Good fucking money. It would. Which reminds me, I don't need 10 matches on a pay-per-view card. I do not. But I certainly don't need 5. We did that already.
Dude, like there has to be a medium. There has to be a medium because this is now 2 out of 4 pay-per-views this year that feel very much like house shows.
Yes. To be fair, nothing much you can do with this roster. But I need more than 5 matches. Yeah, give me at least 6. You did the 5. Wasn't the payback? Yeah, we did that already. Oh, I was hating this. Don't do that.
He did 5 at the Chamber, but at least there's 2 Chamber matches out of the 5.
Like this is I still don't want a 30-minute Damian Priest Jey Uso match. Somebody you gotta add another match, sir. Sorry. At least one more match.
Sammy, Gable, and Reed. You set that up, but you didn't announce it.
Sold. Yeah, I don't get it.
It's weird. It's weird that he's so adamant about these 5-match cards. And I'm like, dude, that worked for TakeOver because you pace that shit tremendously. It's some of the best paced WWE shows ever. And then it's 5 great matches. If you don't have 5 great matches, then 5-match cards don't work.
Very true. Yeah, dog, I'm thinking the same thing. Like, this is not a great roster with all the injuries. It just isn't. I'm sorry. It's a very average roster.
That's another thing we discussed yesterday during the preview is that, there was things that, hit him late, like the Rhea Ripley injury. But, my dude, you knew The Rock was going to be here at the Mania. You knew Roman was going to be at the Mania. You knew Seth was dragging ass with one leg to Mania, so he wasn't going to be here after Mania. You knew that you've been known since January. Punk's not here. Like, you knew all these people were going to be gone. Why didn't you, I don't know, protect AJ Styles so AJ Styles could have been a title contender instead of this haphazard fucking shoe pace put on by glue and spit fucking thrown together build up to this fucking matchup. And it doesn't even feel like this is going to be the one matchup that they have. It feels like this is the start of a feud. And I'm like, no one's interested in AJ versus Cody. Sadly. And I say that with all intents and purposes of thinking that when the bell rings, it's going to be a good matchup. But you have done nothing to present AJ Styles as a main eventer.
Sorry. Yeah. And I get it. You want to protect LA Knight. But AJ just lost at Mania. I'm not interested. Sorry. They cheated to beat him on fucking SmackDown. I'm sorry. I'm not interested in him versus fucking the star of the company. Not interested. Hate to break the news to you. Oh well.
I said yesterday, I came up with it as we were brainstorming. Who was the person that they could have gave Cody? Probably the person that beat Cody before WrestleMania and is the hottest heel in the company. Yeah, it should have been Drew McIntyre. If he was healthy enough to do that London tour, I think that he would have went through injury with the elbow injury and done the matchup with Cody at Backlash, and then you can have Punk take a trip to France just to distract him to protect McIntyre in the loss.
I don't know about that one. Oh, poor Drew.
2 Georgia boys in Paris. That is the fucking build to this matchup. 2 Georgia boys fighting in France.
I don't.
No one cares. Swerve Strickland was in the back next, and he says that Christian Cage chose the team with Strickland at All In because he knew exactly what he was capable of. It seems that Christian has forgotten who the hell he is. So next week they should have a little chat in the ring so he can remind him. And next week he won't be alone. He had ice on his head, icing down his bloody dreadlock. Or bloody head from the dreadlock pull.
Ugh. That sounds so fucking goofy. I'm sorry. I can't take this shit seriously.
Next, we get Kyle O'Reilly going one-on-one with Rocky Romero. Both men know each other very well. We get a series of counters and multiple stalemates early on. O'Reilly attempts the first submission attempt with an ankle lock, but Romero's able to rise up from it and hit an enziguri to send him to the floor. Romero followed up with a tope. He tried again for another one, but O'Reilly caught him with a suplex into a cross arm breaker. When things got back inside, we got a little bit more physical, a little bit more hard-hitting action. O'Reilly hit the Nigel Lariat for a double down. We get an avalanche sliced bread by Rocky for a near fall. We get Kyle with a knee strike, but then he locked on a Kimura, and then Rocky got one of his own. We get multiple pin and submission attempts before O'Reilly is able to roll up in an inside cradle on Romero to pick up the win here. Kyle O'Reilly gets the win and seems like he's getting warmed up for a TNT title shot. Probably going to be on TV, hopefully.
When's pay-per-view?
May 26th.
That's probably going to be Malachi Black versus Edge, right?
Yeah.
Here's hoping. Yeah. Here's fucking hoping. But ill. Sorry. We need to give up on this experiment. It's over. You tried to push him before he left, and now you push him when he's back. It's over. There you go.
Okada Aura is backstage with Saraya and Harley Cameron, who trash talked Mariah May's loss earlier in the night. Saraya runs down and points out that she was the last person to defeat Timeless Toni Storm in singles competition. And then Harley Cameron challenges Toni Storm next week to a one-on-one matchup. Saraya scolds Cameron for rambling and said Storm doesn't have to tell them to put her tits out. And then she puts her hair back and says, they already do, and walked off. Hey, she showed off her tits.
I mean, yeah, I got 2 plastic bottles right here I could look at if I want. So somebody compared.
Jesus!
I'm joking. Saraya is nice looking. What was I going to say? Somebody said Mercedes is already Saraya. And while I didn't disagree immediately, you just reminded me that no, she's not. No, she's not. Not even a little bit. But Big Man does is correct. A lot of motherfuckers was hyped about Saraya. I don't forget. I was not.
That is true. They were very hyped for Saraya's arrival in AEW.
But why though? She actually started to
because they hadn't seen her in a while.
Oh, I forgot, huh? Yeah. She's awful. Sorry.
If you hadn't seen someone in a while, you miss them. It's understandable.
Sure. Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, sure.
Fair enough.
Arca Aura is backstage once again, this time with the Undisputed Kingdom.
Wait, what's her name? Spell her name. Arca.
Arcada? I don't know. It's Arkady. All
right. Let's see what she looks like. This is annoying.
he's like, you mentioned a female that many times. I don't know how she look.
Oh, she kind of looks like Kathy Kelly a little bit.
I can see that 100%. Yeah. I did feel like this was their answer to Kathy Kelly. But she's with the Undisputed Kingdom. They asked Roger Strong about his matchup with Will Ospreay at Double or Nothing. Taven calls Aura not Lexi and says that it should be not it should be not Renee, as he scolds her and puts over Next Strong, trending on social media last week, thanks to Tony Khan. Strong said that the aerial assassin will need all the bullets in his chamber to defeat the Messiah. At Double or Nothing, Will Ospreay will fall to the Messiah of the Backbreaker.
I totally forgot they're doing that match. Holy shit. Ugh. Oh, poor Ospreay. That's probably his fucking call. Fuck it. This way you don't let fucking wrestlers book themselves ever. Sometimes it works.
Dude, I told you this. I told you this before Ospreay came at Revolution, that he wanted, that I heard the rumblings that he wanted to elevate the international championship.
You fucking did. You did. And there's no way he wants a European championship.
And as the rumblings, I mean, we're 2 hours 4 minutes into the show. I doubt anyone that isn't a fan of us is going to be watching this, so they don't mind if I pull back the curtain. Yes, Sati Nyangi told me that that's what Will wanted.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Why? For what?
He doesn't want to rush into just going and getting the title.
Let me tell you something. Rushing in to do something is the best way to go when you are the guy. Hogan came over to WCW and said, I want to win a TV title. It makes no fucking sense. For what? I'm Hulk Hogan. I'll be taking Flair's belt now. Thank you. And then what happened? Wrestling business was saved. They have some shit in between there, but it's not important. Wrestling business was saved.
He came. It was the result. That's it.
Done.
Call it a rep. We got Frantic Road. It says that match is going to be fun. We also got Memcats, who says Lexi just taking a week off since no ROH or Collision this week. That is true. That is true. Big Man Dog says Tony needs to say that doesn't work for me, brother. When Ospreay offers to mid-card himself.
Right? The fuck? Oh, no.
Like, this is the thing. This is the thing. Like, I feel like Ospreay came up with this idea after All Out 2023. He came up with this idea as he was negotiating his deal to sign with AEW before Full Gear, not knowing what they were going to do with the international title in the past 7 months. He's still thinking that it's the international title of September 2023. And he's like, I'm going to bring it to the next level. It's already been elevated by Orange's run. I'm going to take it to the next level. Not knowing that the level, it's gone down levels since Orange's first run.
Significantly fucking so. Hogan was not the reason WCW died, Frantic World. Stop listening to WWE's retelling of events. They leave quite a bit out.
Hey, we're gonna find out who killed WCW in the new series produced by $7 Entertainment.
I saw. How about Turner killed WCW? They didn't want to pay those fucking ridiculous prices. How's that? They're still putting in good ratings. According to you all, it'd been great because they're still number 3 on cable, or whatever the fuck they were.
Yeah. We got MCAS who says you want Ospreay to beat Swerve and his reign is short. Might as well get Brock Lesnar at this point. I still want Ospreay and Swerve to main event Wembley Stadium, even if Ospreay is international champion, because I feel like that's elevating of the international title. Is the international champion challenges for the AEW World Championship at the biggest show of the year, Wembley Stadium, and I want there to be where Swerve finally shows us that we shouldn't have been rooting him on to become AEW World Champion, and that he's still a rotten son of a bitch when he screws over Ospreay in his home country.
God, that'd be dope. But more importantly, we can't elevate all these belts. If you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none. You have 3 mid-card belts, you have none. It's got to be like set where they are. But if Ospreay's got the belt, sure, it's number 2. It just is. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Cope, you're gonna have to go down. Okay, and Cope, you might be below Okada because Okada's gearing up for a matchup with Kenny Omega.
Oh, right. Jesus Christ, he really has no idea what he's doing. We gotta do something about these belts. What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh.
We got Roxy who says, I don't mind this at all. He can elevate the title. We got Mr. Majestic, number 13, who says, at this point, has Swerve Strickland had a good AEW World Championship run so far? I mean, it's only been 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm about to say, even for me, it's too early to tell.
Yeah, it's too early to tell. Has it been a first good 2 weeks to his AEW run? I think that it's just been okay at best. At the best, I could just say it's okay because of the Collision booking more than anything, and the choice of Christian as the first challenger. I think those are good, but like the booking of last week, they're still trying to make up for that.
Yeah, yes, and I don't see how it's going to be made up. He's not going to be the focal point of any of these shows. Sorry.
We got Power Driver Finisher says the Buck stuff has overshadowed a bit.
A bit? They beat up Tony Khan last week. That's all anybody talks about. But he wasn't talking about when he won it because they were talking about Dragon and Ospreay. Then the next on Dynamite, we're talking about Tony Khan. And this week, we're talking about Kenny Omega. I'm sorry. This is not the stuff champions are made of.
He either needed to be inserted into the program or he's gonna be number 2 to it. That's how it works.
Fucking who was he? I don't want
to be this and you know what's funny enough? Same thing happened to Hangman Adam Page, and that was the person that I compared the journey to the AEW World Title for Swerve 2 was Hangman's journey. But what happened when Hangman became champion? He had a hot feud ready with Bryan Danielson. Why wasn't that the top program? Oh, that's right, because the first show Hangman was champion on, they started MJF and CM Punk. Ooh. So sometimes it seems like that's what happens with AEW is that they crown this big babyface moment of the big babyface winning the championship, but at the same time they start an angle that's gonna be bigger than that babyface champion.
Yeah, but I feel like this is always going to be the case. I'm not sure how old you guys are probably too young to remember, and they erased him from WWE history. He's fucking Chris Benoit, but this is the Triple H show. I'm sorry to break the news to you. Sorry, it's the Buck show. You're just the guy with the belt.
Annika says, as of right now, Swerve's run has to be better than Hangman's to be considered a good run.
It's too early, but that's a good line of
barometer. Yeah, that's a good barometer because Hangman didn't have the best title run, but it's a title run that is really kind of viewed in retrospect as one that was great in the ring, but he was never the vocal point of the show.
Very true. Very true.
And then you got Mr. Majestic who said, I don't know if this is a serious question. Would Tony Khan possibly signing Shelton Benjamin, Elijah the Pope Burke, and ACH to All Elite Wrestling help the promotion? No. To answer your question.
Oh.
No.
I mean, listen, going to ROH, Benjamin in particular, I think could be a big help.
Yeah, exactly. This is a great point. Roxy says WWE lacks more top guys. AEW is bleeding with top guys. They just have to choose one.
Yeah, it's kind of feel about quarterbacks.
You named about 3 or 4 guys that could be the top guy. Swerve, Ospreay, Omega, Moxley.
Yeah, but there's
just
no
have
guy.
To choose one. They just have to choose.
Overshadowed by fucking the talented Nick Jackson and his not talented brother.
Will you stop? What is your personal vendetta against them? They did nothing wrong.
So let me get this straight. We got Austin, we got Rock, we got Triple H, we got Kurt Angle. And it's the Dudley Boy show. What the fuck are we doing? Are you serious?
You had Austin, Rock, Foley, and Triple H was the guy who was running things. So.
Yes, the most interesting character. At least he's number 4. Where's Matt Jackson on this list? Is he 4? You just named 4 guys.
The elite is 4. The elite as a collective unit is 4.
Insanity.
And then finally, Rampage ended off with a Manitoba Massacre. It was Willow Nightingale defending the AEW TBS Championship against Sky Blue. This one was a physical plunder brawl. You get Chris Statlander being presented a special trash can before she left Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway on the stage. Nightingale went right at it with Blue in the entryway. They brawled through the crowd. The match was literally like 20 seconds in, and Tony Schiavone was already like, he's never seen anything like this. Nightingale exposed the guardrail, but Blue hung her up by the throat. Nightingale started to throw some weapons in the ring. Then Blue set up a chair on the outside. Nightingale reversed things and went for a senton off the apron, but Blue moved and Nightingale squashed the chair, flattened the chair with that senton. We get hard looking trash can shots. Blue starts bleeding from the head. She pulls out thumbtacks. Nightingale does a sick looking fisherman buster off the top rope on Blue onto the thumbtacks, where Willow took most of the thumbtacks to her ass and back. They set up a table on the outside, and then of course Sky Blue has to be a sick fuck and pulls out a barbed wire board. She sets up the barbed wire board on the table. Willow reverses things and hits an avalanche, spinning an avalanche doctor bomb, the Babe with the power bomb off the apron through the barbed wire table board. This one was so much fun. Willow Nightingale retains and defends the TBS championship. This was physical, and these two ladies just went at it, just left it all in the ring. So bravo to them. And honestly, this was better than any of the matches on Dynamite.
Wow. Jesus.
So thumbs up for me for Rampage this week. Out of 10, I'm actually going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. 6.5 out of 10. Slight thumbs up, like Orange Cassidy thumbs up. 6.5 out of 10. Willow Nightingale and Sky Blue, the match of the night. MVP for Rampage, I will give it to Willow for the win in the main event, and LVP for Rampage, Konosuke Takeshita and whoever he was supposed to face, because that match got scrapped because the Elite angle went too long. They announced London Lightning versus Konosuke Takeshita, which was going to be a squash anyway, and they completely cut the matchup and never even mentioned it again.
Holy shit, because they went long. These niggas think they're The Rock. What the fuck are we doing? What the fuck? Are you... Is it no... I hope this is all legit. Hope Tony's completely bought in. If they think they're running the place, fuck it. We'll let them actually run the place.
Okay, Mr. Majestic, I questioned before if you were serious or not with your last comment. Now I know you're not serious. He says Anthem Sports and Entertainment's wrestling is starting to catch up to Tony Khan's All Elite Wrestling as the number 2 pro wrestling promotion in North America. If you think TNA wrestling is catching up to AEW, I am sorry. That's almost as insane as saying AEW is catching up to WWE. That's almost as insane.
I appreciate your take, sir, but I'll put this nicely. There's no evidence to suggest that that's happening. I've seen no evidence to lead me to that conclusion. No.
That was like the most proper way of saying, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Sorry, sir.
Are they trying? They fired their president.
We're trying to get to the next level. We got to fire the coach. Has it been any better? I don't watch.
No.
TNA is number 6. There is no number 3.
No, even with this is poor decision making in this year, New Japan is number 3. I've said this once on here. I'll say it 100 times. It's number 3 by default more than anything.
Really? What would you say is the best?
The best wrestling product right now?
Yeah.
Best wrestling product I saw this week was Stardom.
Okay. I want to watch the wrestling, but I've been very unimpressed with everything I've seen so far from everybody.
Yeah, it's been a flat week with the draft, and then this episode wasn't like AEW at its best. So Yeah. TNA, I like TNA, but I'm sorry, when your big returns at a pay-per-view are Sami Callihan and broken Matt Hardy, doesn't really motivate a whole lot of optimism from me. I like Mike Santana returning. I thought that was the best move for his career to go back to TNA, but yeah.
I was going to say, do you have enough? Don't get me started, Brooklyn Bleak. Don't get me started.
Oh, you put that up there. It pissed you off. Oh,
could they get enough money to sign Goldberg? TNA?
Well, they were gonna offer a big money deal to Punk and Okada and Ospreay.
Take that money and sign
Goldberg.
I can't.
But Goldberg probably thinks their product is cheesy.
That's a hell of a take. Bret Hart was right. Fuck idiot.
Bret Hart was right. Bret Hart was right. We got Jacob who says, I haven't watched TNA since Flair and Hogan showed up, like 2011. Can only imagine it has gotten worse since. No, it actually got better. And then the person who was motivating all the people to give a better product got fired.
Yeah. And I don't know why. I don't know the thinking behind it.
It's almost like it's the firing was almost like Mark Jackson being fired from the Golden State Warriors. Like they felt like the players were too close to him, and they think they needed a big change, a big switch up, but they didn't get Steve Kerr. They got Doc Rivers.
That's a good boy. Has somebody ever coasted on one championship more than Doc Rivers?
No one ever. I agree. Big Man does. That Saray and Mayu Iwatani match was it was the best women's match of the year for me so far. And then we also got finally to finish things off. Frantic World says NWA is on the CW app. That's all I needed to hear. But that brings us to a close on another edition of AEWramble. This was a good time, Jimmy. I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. Likewise. This was good.
Please let the people know where they can follow you on social media and when they'll see you again.
Nowhere. None of your takes were horrendous. I think we should stay friends. I don't really like it like that.
Follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHill SP3. Follow the game, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at TrueHill Heat. Patreon.com/True Hill Heat, $3 a month. Get you exclusive content to True Hill Heat Prediction Championship, plus much, much more. And ProWrestlingTees.com for your Wear.com for your True Hill Heat merchandise. Check out all the great content we got on the channel right now, like our WWE Backlash preview from yesterday with me and Rick Ucchino.
That poster is fire. Ain't gonna lie.
It is fire. It's a dope poster. But the card? Not so much. But I will be back here tomorrow live with Miss Chrissy Love, 12:05 p.m. Eastern Time, with our Dark Side of the Ring Season 5, Episode 9, The Sandman review. We'll be talking about that one tomorrow. Also got the flagship on Sunday at 10:05 a.m. Eastern Time, as we got Backlash coverage on Saturday. So stay locked here. Hit the subscribe button for more. Comment down below. Let us know what you thought of AEW Dynamite. Me and Jimmy will be back with you next Thursday. So until then, this has been AEWramble, episode 144. Kenny, I'm sorry. Reviewing the May 1st, 2024 edition of AEW Dynamite. He
looks like a fucking child. Look at him. He's a small child standing over Kenny Omega. This is silly.
We are signing off until next time.
I'm hurt and I'm old and I'm fucking tired and I work with fucking children.